Hi, everyone. It's Elaine Kupser here at Impact Magazine, and I am here with Matthew Devine from Edmonton, Alberta, who I've had the great pleasure of meeting over the last few months. On Saturday, May 20th, in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Matthew is about to embark on an epic solo cross-Canada cycling trip like no other. It's called the Ride for Change, and it's for a very important cause, and it's very personal. Matthew, I have to start by saying that you are one of the most incredible, humble, and generous human beings I have ever met. And I'm so honored to be just a small part of this journey that you're about to embark upon.
I hope my cheeks aren't too red. That's
I know.
the kindest interview or introduction I've ever gotten. So thank you very much.
Oh, no, you're so welcome. We're so thrilled about this. There's so many things that make this event stand out from all the others. But I think that the best thing to do today is to let you do the talking. So with that, let's dive right in. And Matthew, I'd like you to start by telling us a little bit first about yourself, because this is a very personal journey as well. And then really about the why you're doing what you're doing.
Sure. And I'll try to be really quick because I think a lot of people know that I come from a place where I was very unhealthy, unfit. I was obese. I had high blood pressure, probably very close to having a medical event that may have ended my life. I was a heavy smoker, drinker. And at some point, I realized that I needed to turn that around. And I was warned by my doctors, you needed to do something very quickly. So I took this physical transformation journey, and I managed to achieve some success in that space. I got myself down to a decent weight. I was living a little bit more healthier, but I still had some demons within me that were causing me some mental issues. I was feeling depressed, and I still wasn't living what I consider my best life. And it all kind of came home probably when I hit about 45. The depression became quite heavy, and I was damaging relationships. I was damaging my career, and I actually ended up having to leave my profession. And at that time, I was the CEO of a company. But I realized that wasn't where I was getting satisfaction. It wasn't where my purpose laid. So I woke up one day and I said to my wife that I'm going to run 300 kilometers through the Canadian Rockies for children. And I had never run more than one marathon before. And that was, 20 years ago. So she looked at me and she said, well, what do you mean? You're going to run from Jasper to Canmore? And I said, well, let's do it because I feel inspired by that. And two individuals on one kind of 30-second conversation took that journey. And I ran the 300 kilometers. I lost all my toenails. I was beaten up, but we raised $60,000 for an incredible charity that helps children. And when I was done, I kind of got to the finish line, and I looked around and I said, I don't even really recognize what happened here. Something big happened, but I didn't take it in. I didn't understand everything that was going on around me. And I started to feel the gray come back. And I said, we need to do something even bigger. And that conversation actually started while I was running the 300. So long story short, now we're doing the Ride for Change, which is the 13,000 kilometer cycle across Canada for another amazing charity. You can ride too. And this time we're going to do it right. We're going to tell an amazing story. We're going to help a lot of people, and we're going to help a lot of children.
Right. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about the charity itself as well? And what
Yeah,
they do?
sure. You Can Ride Too is a local charity that we were introduced to by our somebody who actually is working on the project with us, Kieran from Production 71. He introduced us to this amazing charity. We went down to meet them. We saw their facilities. It's basically a warehouse with a lot of bikes. They walked us through what they do and how they do it, and they invited us back to see the kids come in and actually get fitted to these bikes. Now, it seems like a simple thing, taking a child with disabilities and putting them on a bike. But what most people don't realize is that it's transformative for those children. It changes their lives immediately. It gives them joy, independence, a sense of happiness. But more importantly, it allows the family to have a more normalized life. And believe me, these families deserve it. They work very hard. These children are beautiful, but with it comes a lot of effort that these families have to put in. So we immediately fell in love with these kids. They're beautiful, and we're going to put a lot of smiles on children's faces.
Oh, see, this is what makes you incredible, Matthew. Amazing. Okay, let's talk about the event now. Next, the solo ride that you're about to take on. Tell us a little bit more about what you'll be doing over the course of the next few months, starting May 20th.
Sure, and you're right. It is a solo ride, but I want to point out a couple of very important things. I have some wonderful support riders with me, but there's somebody else taking this ride with me. It's Nicole. I mean, it wouldn't happen without her. She is right now booking 109 rooms on 100 different nights for me to sleep in. She takes care of my nutrition, everything along that. So it is a solo ride, but there's definitely two people along for this wonderful adventure. But what we're going to do is we're going to start in Halifax, May 20th, and we're going to cycle for about 109 days with 7 rest days built into that. So in total, I'll be cycling about 100, 101, 102 days, on average between 130 to 150 kilometers a day, with some days, including the first 2 I found out yesterday, over 200 kilometers. So it is going to be extremely challenging. We're going to be riding across every potential hurdle you can imagine: elevation, wind, rain, pain, mechanical failure. We're going to experience it all, and we're going to tell this amazing story around the human spirit and what we're capable of.
Absolutely. Do you want to talk about a couple of the key cities that you'll be stopping in at? I know there are many of them, but maybe some points of interest for people to join you.
Sure. So we're going to be stopping. We're starting Halifax, as I said.
Yeah.
We roll out of Halifax, and you'll have to forgive me. Nicole's really the navigator on this trip. But for example, we roll through Quebec, where we'll be picking up another support rider who's quite well known, Sebastian Spires, an incredible, inspirational guy himself. We'll be starting from the Plains of Abraham. We're going to be hitting Toronto, where we hope to join up with a large group of riders coming out of Toronto. Then we're going to roll towards the Plains, where I'm having a young athlete who's got his own issues with mental depression join me. And then, of course, we're heading into the Rockies, where it's going to be absolutely beautiful. And again, along the way, we're going to have people dropping in, riding with me, and we're really hoping to tell not just my story, but their stories as well. We get to Victoria, where we hope to have dinner with you.
Absolutely. We'll be there.
Have a nice visit. And then we're going to head north towards the White Horse in the Yukon, which probably is going to be the most challenging part of the ride. I'll have a rider with me there as well, Adam. Very interesting story. He's suffering with PTSD, so this is his way of helping himself through that process. And then when we get into Whitehorse, we have a very interesting gentleman joining us on a hand cycle. He had a snowmobile accident that left him paralyzed, and he's reached out to us, and he's going to ride with us into Whitehorse. So we have these incredible pockets of story to tell across this amazing country, Canada, who itself will be part of this endurance drama.
Unbelievable. And the date that you are anticipating will be the last day, and where? Tell us about that.
It's going to be August 27th in Edmonton, and we are hoping to get as many people riding with me into Edmonton. So if anybody is out there listening, join in. Of course, we want you there. We want all the people that supported us there, because we're going to be ending it where it all started, at the You Can Ride 2 facility. And we're hoping to have the children with us. So we're going to see some beautiful children on their adaptive bikes. And then after that, we're going to go down to my home away from home, the Royal Glenora, and we're going to have maybe a beer on the patio, because I think at that point it's going to be well deserved. So
Oh,
that's
at
kind
least.
of
Right.
that's,
Oh my
that's what it
gosh.
looks like. Yeah, it's gonna. We're really excited and we're really terrified right now.
Oh,
Me and Nicole probably don't sleep very well right now, but we're looking forward to it.
oh, that's amazing. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see you in person at some of these stop points. Matthew, if there's sort of something that you want what's a message that you want to achieve by doing this? Like, what do you want people to know during and at the end of all this?
I think the hidden message in all this is that I'm doing this for children, but in reality, the children are doing me the service, because I am an ordinary individual with significant flaws, and I won't get into it now, but for the last 5, 10 years, I had issues, and I didn't deal with them very well. I was suffering from mental illness. I suffered from depression, and this is a journey that I'm not only taking to help these kids, but I'm taking it to deconstruct myself so that I can reconstruct and become a better person and work on my flaws. And I want individuals out there to know that if they're silently suffering, whether it be a metabolic condition, some sort of physical limitation, or a mental illness, even an addiction, there is a solution. And it's called finding purpose, movement, fitness, health. Bring these things to the table and we can help you. And I want adults, men and women, to get inspired through this journey to take their own transformation so that they can experience the power that comes with it. So that's an important thing.
That's incredible. Super powerful. I want you to maybe let us know a little bit more, maybe going back just a little bit on how did you prepare for this adventure? Because like you said, you weren't, even when you did your epic run, you hadn't run a marathon before, but you just dove in. So how did you dive in to prepare for this cross Canada ride?
Yeah, it certainly isn't sexy. I'd like to say I went to Spain and cycled some famous routes, but in reality, I spent hours in my basement on a fixed trainer through the winter here in Alberta, following a program that was written for me by a coach who I connected with out of Vancouver. And it was literally building up the number of hours I spent on my bike. And now I'm probably cycling between 15 and 25 hours a week. But I'm finally getting outside. And the goal is just to build up your level of pain tolerance, of suffering. I won't get into the experience of sitting on a bike for 5 hours because it's not pretty, but you suffer. I would say this is worse than the running. The running for me was sore. I had aches, but being in the position on the bike, it creates a tremendous amount of discomfort, and you literally have to work up your tolerance levels. So I can comfortably say I'll be sitting on the bike between 5 and 8 hours a day. Some days will be 10 and 12-hour days. I have to be able to do that for 100 days. And in actual fact, I have to get fitter as I ride. And that sounds really strange, but when I start, my body won't be where it should be to do this cycle. I'm going to have to get fitter as I go, even though my body is going to be declining. So it's going to be a challenge. In speaking to my coach, he says most people take 2 to 3 years to prepare for this. We're going to try to do it in about 6 to 8 months.
Incredible. All right. Tell me a little bit more, and all of us, about your biggest support, who is Nicole, and what she has been doing to help you prepare, and what she will be doing along the way to help you get through.
Well, so understand, that kind introduction you gave me about being this wonderful, humble guy. She's the person that has to deal with the other, the Jekyll and Hyde kind of person, because in reality, I've got many bad days, and she's got to be my my sounding board. She's the person that puts up with the sort of that stuff that happens behind the scene. So she's been, my number one supporter. When I suggested this, she was completely committed. She's committed to the charity. She does everything on the administration side. And it's going to be something to see her rolling down the highway in this massive van, trying to keep the riders safe. So she's got many jobs. She does them all incredibly well. She feeds us. She's going to be our nutritionist. And she's also going to have to take care of me because I'm going to be a bit of a man baby, I'm sure, on some of on some of those days.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a partnership, and quite frankly, it couldn't happen without that synergy. We do have our moments. We argue. I bother. I'm a very big pest with details, but she puts up with it, and here we go.
Here you guys go.
We're going to try to raise $200,000. Two people off of an idea. We're going to try to raise $200,000.
I love that. I love that. No, you two are very much a team on this adventure, that's for sure. Could you let us know how people across Canada or anywhere can support you along the way, online, how to donate? How would you like that to see that support come in, and how can we find that?
Yeah, thank you so much, because that's the $1 million question. So the first thing people can do is look at rideforchange.ca. It is the web page for the event. It has my background story. It has a lot of interesting video content. It talks about who our sponsors are, and it also has the donation page. So that's a great site for a lot of really great information. The other thing that they can do to help me is follow me on Devine Transformation in Instagram, because we're going to be putting out a lot of, we hope, interesting, fun content. We're going to show the good, the bad, the ugly as we travel across Canada. And I don't think people understand how much it helps me when somebody says, great job, or hey, we're behind you, or keep it up. They inspire me. So I really appreciate that. And if they can continue to do that and come and join the journey with me, it means the world.
I love that. And, we'll also, not only at the end of this video, but in all of our social posts that will be coming up, and when we're going to be getting together and talking, we'll make sure that we continue to hopefully let people know how they can do that, and hopefully find you along the way and join you on the ride as well, just to support you in person across Canada. Do you have any final words before you begin?
Well, I think I want to thank you. Impact Magazine has been so amazing to work with. And what many people may not know is that you've also become friends to the event. You're going to be with us along the journey. So you'll be another excellent source of information for people to obviously follow Impact Magazine, subscribe, and see our fun interactions as we go along. Other than that, I just want to thank everybody for believing in me, Nicole, and our sponsors, our title sponsor, Lyle Best. We call him the guardian angel. This man is incredible. He's not only successful in business, but he's been so generous with the community. And I call him like a silent predator. He moves in the dark and under the water, but he impacts so many people. So thank you to all of our sponsors, and thank you to you.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. I'm just really honored to be part of this. So everyone else out there, watch for the links, like I said, at the end of the video. Watch our social media. We will be posting, talking to Matthew all along the way. So we'll be posting updates as well. And, my final wish to you, Matt and Nicole, is to, of course, stay safe and stay healthy in every possible way. And congratulations to you for what you're doing. It's unbelievable. It's inspiring, but it's just an incredible, journey that you're both taking on by yourselves for the most part. And I know you have a lot of support behind you, and we're all just there for you, but you two incredible human beings. So congratulations to you. We will be with you until that final destination.
I appreciate that so much. And I'll say one last thing. This isn't the end. We are in cooperation with our partners like Lyle, hopefully with folks like yourself. We are going to create an unstoppable movement of helping individuals, helping charities, and this ecosystem is going to be self-sustaining. We are going to create nodes in a network that are going to grow and become very powerful, and we're going to make a real meaningful, lasting difference. So stay tuned, more to come.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Matthew. Best of
Thank
luck.
you. Thank you.
And that's a wrap.